Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Krobos. Welcome back to Gears Feed in an entirely different format. I figured it'd be a bit easier if I could switch things up a bit and show you guys some of myself on camera as well as the usual trailers and Gears footage that you've seen time and time again. And it must get a bit stale when, I put a trailer on in the background and you've seen it about 60 times and the only difference is a smart little text plug-in or something to help convey the information I'm trying to inform you on. So today I wanted to talk about the Gears 5 campaign previews. Last week we were blessed with a plethora of information from the press as they indulged us on their first impressions of the game, and things are looking incredibly promising so far. I think we can all say that. There's some key parts of that press releases that really stood out to a lot of us. A strong list of highlights that certainly I think we all expected, but we didn't think they'd be that profound and to that great detail. One a few lines that I found promising were they said, "Shed your expectations, Gears 5 changes everything." They say that Games Radar said the Coalition is signalling loud and clear that they're ready to grow this franchise, creating a sense of scale that previous Gears games simply couldn't achieve. Now, they said that Gears 5 is the evolution that the franchise desperately needed. And I think that's been the sort of the general consensus for most of the press once they've had their first impressions on the campaign. And one line that particularly stood out to me was they said a series finally ready to throw off the shackles of the past and embrace a new destiny. If there's a prime approach that the Coalition received a lot of criticism for with Gears 4, it was the fact that they essentially played it safe. But to be fair, who wouldn't? It was their first Gears title. They needed to show the world that they could produce a Gears title, and then for Gears 5 they could go on to take risks and place some of their own identity into the franchise. And that's okay. The fact that journalists are claiming that this game is a breath of fresh air is that the game so desperately needed makes me very excited and eager to play. So most notably, the previews claim that we can expect a campaign length in the region of 20 hours, far exceeding its predecessors, which could be beaten in half the time frame. Now, I reckon that because of these new open world aspects and RPG elements, the game is 20 hours if you choose to experience the side quests and roam around and really take in this live breathing world of Sierra. I think if you try and storm through the narrative and the campaign without going anywhere else but directly through the story, I still think you'll probably be able to complete the game in about 9 to 12 hours as it was in previous entries. Now, allowing players to explore parts of Sierra somewhat untethered is great because players can venture to further invest themselves in the game's lore by meeting NPCs, finding contextual collectibles, and completed side quests. So this is made possible with the introduction of a somewhat unorthodox method of transport, and that's the skiff. It's a controllable method of transport which allows players to traverse large parts of Sierra with ease. Provides players the freedoms to kind of do what they want and the ability to navigate large spaces. Now, to explore and indulge in the living, breathing world of Sierra is a great opportunity for us as fans and something we've wanted for a long time. It's something I've always wanted to see, to be able to wander off without too much restriction, go and meet an outsider, who could be quite compelling and listen to his or her story and their viewpoints on the world. I think it'd be brilliant to finally interact with this a breathing Sierra. We've always been stuck in the linearity of level to level, so to be able to wander off and do that is something that's going to be a great experience, and hopefully will put Gears on another pedestal. Now, it's something that video games are getting better at with as well, to providing a world that's living and breathing and something you can interact with and that's so intricate and compelling. Now, it's really cool to see the Coalition take these steps, and by omitting that sense of linearity and allowing the players more freedom to experience the world how they see fit is an absolutely brilliant step. Now, there will be various parts of Gears 5 that feature the close corners and tight corridors that we all love and hate, but to expand the facets of the game with stages that offer exploration and a break from that linearity will be a breath of fresh air. Now, these new open spaces change the state of play, so remember roadie running from level to level. It could be quite tedious. It kind of messed with the experience because it was just level to level and shooting, but these new open spaces change the state of play. You can take in the scenery and marvel at the injection of colour and vibrancy. You can assist any straggling outsiders or nomads that you may have come across, and you'll reap the rewards, and you can find rare relics scattered across a planet that has been totally ravaged by generations of war. And the action is out of the confines of corridors, and apparently because of that, these maps are about, the size and scale of the campaign is about 50 times the size of previous Gears of War entries. Now, when Rod said this, I think he was definitely referring to the size and scale, not the length of the campaign. If you think about it, the length of the campaign being 50 times longer would take you weeks to complete. He's definitely referring to the size of the campaign and how you can traverse the world freely and really take in what you see. Now, what's also interesting to accommodate this open world RPG format is it's the first time in the series that the campaign will feature an actual map function. So it'll be a compass. It will have little question marks on the top, and you can go. It will help you travel where you need to go. And these locations can contain resources, story elements, collectibles, whatever you'd like to find. And Windows Central even went on to say that they got a sense of world building that felt like a step up from Gears 4. They said exploring the outsider village produced tons of collectibles filled with lore, which offered context for the tension between the outsiders and the COG. So yeah, some main parts to come out of these previews. Obviously, RPG elements, it's open world, it's 20 times bigger, there's free vehicle traversal, stealth mechanics, 4K, 60 frames per second, 20 plus hours of campaign. So yes, it looks like Gears 5 is the evolution that this franchise did desperately need. We'll have to see, but everything's looking promising so far. I've tried to be vague on the story elements so I don't spoil anything for you guys and just touch on the main foundations of the campaign's experience. Instagram have got a takeover on the Xbox official account currently, with different videos of Kate formulating an image of her in two different perceptions. It looks like it could be the inside of her brain or something to do with the Swarm network really thriving. They look to be teasing the launch trailer for Gears 5. If you think about it, we haven't actually got a heartfelt, emotional, your classic Gears trailer yet, so I'm sure that's something we'll see either today or tomorrow, definitely very soon. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the new format. Might be a bit rusty on it. This really is as rudimentary as it can get, in a room with a mobile phone camera, a white monitor screen to kind of brighten me up a bit, and it's still not doing a very good job. So yeah, apologies for that, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you next time.